Welcome here, Real Women of Philadelphia. My name is Janine Friesen. I'm from Steinbach, Manitoba, and I'm really glad you guys decided to join me again on Dessert Week, Week 8 of the Real Women of Philadelphia contest. Today I have a treat for you, a treat for my mom. My parents are actually coming out today, and my mom loves coffee-flavored desserts, and I need to make desserts with cream cheese, so I'm going to take and combine the two. I'm going to be making some caramel macchiato cheesecake. It's the only baking that is required is the crust. Besides that, it's just a matter of sitting it in the fridge for a little while to set up. But we got lots of time. We have an hour because they actually live an hour away, which is perfect timing. So to get started, I have 1 1/4 cup of graham wafer crumbs. These are actually gluten-free graham wafer crumbs. You can either buy them or make your own. If you don't need gluten-free, get normal. And I'm going to be going with a chocolate base. So to my graham wafer crumbs, I'm going to add some cocoa powder, some sugar, and we'll just give this a bit of a stir. And then we will add in 1/3 cup of melted butter. This is unsalted butter. We'll stir this up until everything is wet and a little bit sticky, because that means it will be perfect to push into our springform pan. The springform pan just makes dessert look a little bit fancier than if you're cutting it out of a regular square pan. It's a nice presentation. So here's our chocolate cookie crust now. We're going to take our springform pan, dump it in there. So we're going to take and press our cookie crumb mixture into the bottom of the springform pan now. I'm just going to use a sheet of plastic wrap over there just to start it out, just to get it over the bottom of the pan. We want to go slightly up the sides as well. And what works well is actually to use the bottom of a cup. I have a measuring spoon that has a nice flat bottom on there. Measuring cup that has a nice flat bottom on there, and I'm just going to use that and push the crumbs into the bottom of the pan so we kind of get a bit of an even crust. My cookie crust is now pressed into the bottom and just slightly up the sides. It doesn't need to go all the way up the sides. It does not need to be perfect. If it's jagged, that's fine. You just want to make sure you cover the bottom. I'm going to put it on a baking sheet just in case it has any butter that leaks through the bottom. You don't want that in your oven. I'm going to put this in my 350-degree oven for about 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, just to set the crust. So while our crust is baking, I'm going to take and get the filling ready. We're going to be doing a caramel macchiato. So I'm going to be flavoring our cream cheese with caramel flavor. I've got some caramel candy bits and some espresso powder. I like using the espresso powder over using, say, instant coffee, because espresso powder is extremely fine ground. It does not really need to be dissolved in hot water in order to have a good flavor and to not have a nasty crunch to it. It's such a fine powder that you can mix it in with something like this. You can get the great coffee flavor without having to dissolve anything and add extra liquids to your mixture. So I have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Throw that in our mixing bowl. Cut it up a little bit just so it's easier on the mixer. I also have 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar or icing sugar, confectioner's sugar, whatever it's called at your store or in your house, and the 2 tablespoons of espresso powder. And we're going to take our hand mixer and just give this a good mix until it's well mixed and a really smooth texture to it. So here's our cream cheese mixture. You can see the instant coffee has mixed in with everything and given it a nice coffee color. To this we're going to add some thawed Cool Whip. I'm going to add about half the package first, and we'll mix that in just to lighten this mixture up a bit, and then we'll add the rest of it. the rest of our Cool Whip now. Going to take and scrape my bowl down just to make sure I have all the cream cheese off the bowl. So we have a really smooth, creamy texture to our cream cheese filling. And just give it one more quick mix. My crust just came out of the oven. I had it in there for 8 minutes. I'm going to let it sit here for a minute and then I'm going to put it in the fridge just to cool a little quicker. Once it's cool and not hot to the touch, I'm going to put the filling in. Right now we're just going to finish the filling though. We have our cream cheese, powdered sugar, espresso powder, the whole container of Cool Whip, and I'm just going to add in, because we're making a caramel macchiato, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of toffee bits, candy toffee bits, and just stir that in. And then we'll set this aside until our crust is cooled off. Alright, my crust is now out of the fridge. It's cool to the touch now. So I'm going to fill it with my cream cheese mixture before we put it back into the fridge again, just to let it finish setting up. Scoop this in. Try to spread it out a little bit already, just so that you don't have to move it around too much once it's in the pan. I did a little taste test of the filling. If the whole is as good as the parts separate, we're all in for a treat. Sort of carefully spread this around. So I am going to be decorating the top with this really thick caramel sauce that I bought. It's in the ice cream aisle or dessert topping aisle. Since we're having a caramel macchiato, I'm going to be drizzling caramel sauce over the top. When it comes to decorating the top of your cake, you can kind of do what you would like. You can do what you want. Just have fun with it. Then I also have a brick of baking chocolate here. I'm going to use my vegetable peeler and I'm just going to peel off bits to just put some shaved chocolate on top. So our cake is done now. I just wanted to set up a little bit. The cream cheese mixture is actually really thick already. So I'm just going to kind of let it sit in here and take its shape. I'm going to put it in the fridge for about 40 minutes or so. And then it'll be time to eat. So after half an hour in the fridge, I was able to remove the ring of the springform pan. I still have it on the metal bottom though, so you're going to want to be careful because it is slippery when you have it on something. If you're walking with it, you want to be extra careful. To cut a no-bake cheesecake or a regular cheesecake, take your knife and put it in hot water. Let your blade warm up a little bit. Wipe the water off and just cut straight down. Just want to clean your blade off again. Dry it off. So I've drizzled some chocolate sauce on my plate. So there you have your caramel macchiato cheesecake. It's a great no-bake cheesecake that can be made in an hour. The cream cheese and the Cool Whip make it super simple. So if you're looking to get your caffeine fix this afternoon, why not make this great caramel macchiato cheesecake and see what it does for your sweet tooth? I'm going to give it a try. It's really, really good. It's you can really taste the coffee flavor, and the caramel bits in there are actually still a nice little crunch. And my parents just got here and I know how much my mom loves coffee, so I'm going to start serving this up. Thanks for stopping by today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.